Hi, fire signs. This is Black Cat Tarot. We're going to be doing a reading for mid October, so October 15th to the end of the month. This is for my Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius placements. We're going to be going through challenges coming in, special communication, any blessings on the way, and some general advice. We'll finish with some oracle cards. But first, let's get started with rolling the die and seeing how many cards we're going to pull for each of those topics. 5 cards. So for each topic, we'll be pulling 5 cards. Let's start with any communication. Or no, let's start with any challenges for mid-October to the end of the month. For my fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, if you have it in your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Mars placement. So 5 cards on any challenges within this month. We start with the Star card. So let's see, we're off to a good start. Let's get 4 more cards out here. We've got the 3 of Swords. In this deck, it's called the 3 of Voices, but I'm going to be referring to these cards from their original name in the Rider-Waite deck. So let's see, 3 more cards. We need 3 more cards for fire sign challenges throughout this month. And we got 3 more cards, like I asked for. I don't take reversals in this particular deck. But reversals may be taken in any cards that clarify if we do need to clarify. So, alright, so we've got the Star, we've got the 3 of Swords, we've got the Knight of Cups, we've got the Temperance card, and we've got the 2 of Swords. Alright, so to me already, this is coming through for fire signs. Your challenge might be taking on a role in the spotlight. You might not feel ready. You might feel burdened. If you do feel ready, then you might feel burdened a little bit by that position that you're taking in the spotlight. I'm not sure why this comes to me, but that idea that it takes pain to be beautiful, it takes pain and transformation. There is a sense of ambivalence. There's a sense of ambivalence that might be coming through with a commitment that you have to make, an emotional commitment that you have to make, a decision that you have to make. You may be challenged to turn what looks like a bad situation into something that provides you with strength and something that provides you with vision for the future. That comes through as your challenges here. What I would say is that the Star coming through is a good sign that you have the tools internally to deal with what it would mean to turn this situation, turn whatever pain you have into something that is constructive, is, something that can go from being a challenge to an opportunity. We have Venus, at this time, we have Venus moving into Virgo, the sign of Virgo, so that could give you clarity, grounding, a sense of purpose, moving into a new period of actually having the capacity to transmute negative energy into positive energy, into constructive energy. So don't be worried by any of these challenges. They serve as opportunities. So I think there needs to be a reframing here for my fire signs for whatever area that's providing an opportunity for growth. Don't label it as a challenge even. Don't label it as, a hindrance, a blockage. Don't label it as that. Try to see it as, if you can separate yourself from the outcome of that particular situation, whatever it may be. It could be work, it could be a relationship that you're in, it could be anything. Separate yourself from the outcome, because you aren't an outcome. You're a whole person. So if you can see that challenge as an opportunity for your own growth, then you could see some really amazing things happening the second half of this month. I don't even think we really need to clarify. I think I got all the information that I needed to give you, for at least for your challenges in this present moment for the second half of October. We're going to move on to any important communication coming in for my fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If you have this in your sun, moon, rising, Venus, or Mars. Let's move into any special communication coming in. Fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. In your sun, moon, rising, Venus, or Mars placements, we got 2 cards already. Communication. Oh, we got some major arcana coming out. Still with the major arcana coming out. This is pretty incredible. This is powerful energy here. It's very powerful communication coming in. So really tune in to what the hell you're being told for the second half of October. Listen, I am literally just reading cards. Now, you can take that however you want, but if it's this much major arcana coming in, this communication is pretty important and pivotal to your path, your course right now. So I would pay attention to what you're being told from anywhere from strangers to people that you trust deeply. We have a Pentacles card coming out. And for your last card here, let's see. You've got a King of Swords coming out. So you've got a King of Swords coming out as your last piece of communication here. Now that King of Swords, may be you in that position, or somebody coming to you that has a level of wisdom. That you kind of have to take heed to. But for your major arcana cards, 3 of these 5 cards, based on communication, are major arcana cards. So we've got the Emperor. We've got the Tower card. Now, the Tower isn't always a bad card. It could be pivotal communication coming in, communication that really shifts things for you, shifts how you see things at this time. And we've got the Strength card. So for any Leo placements, this is especially speaking to you. You might receive communication or receive revelations in your own head, your downloads in your own head that, give you a sense of how much you have to give a situation, how much you have internally to take control of a situation. On this card, we see the subject is actually taming the lion that she sits upon. In the original tarot card, for the strength card, we see the subject taming the lion that she's with. The lion submits to her. So you may receive communication that kind of clarifies for you where you actually have more control than you may have previously thought. I think the Emperor with the tarot card, with the Tower card, kind of signifies where you didn't see control before, where you didn't see a level of proficiency or a level of ownership over something, ownership over a part of yourself. Where you didn't see that before, you're going to start to see that in the second half of October. I don't know why, but I feel like that kind of has something to do with Venus moving into Virgo. You might feel a sense of more control over how you present yourself to your own relationships in your life. The dynamic, the balance, the power imbalances in the relationships that you have and the connections that you have may start to equalize the second half of October. We have the Four of Materials here, the Four of Pentacles. So it could signify communication coming through, again, to relay that level of control that you have, that you don't feel that you do have. You're going to get a better sense of yourself, what your boundaries are. You know, you're going to get a better sense of something's going to be said to you, or something's going to be revealed to you internally that gives you a better sense of where your control lies, how much control you have, versus how much control you think you have, you previously thought that you had. The King of Swords coming through kind of gives me the sense that this might be someone a little bit older than you. You could be dealing with a Libra, Aquarius, or a Gemini that comes through with this communication. Leo placements, you're obviously coming through here. So it might be you receiving that communication from your higher self or from another Leo. This is interesting. I think it's the main idea that I'm getting here as far as communication that's coming in is communication that has to deal with you realizing how much more control you have than you thought you had, either in the first half of this month or even into the time leading up to this period. Yeah, it's going to be pretty important communication just because there's a lot of major arcana here. Most of the cards here are major arcana. So this is going to be pivotal information that you're receiving either from your higher self, from spirit, from, trusted advisors that are around you, trusted people in your circle, in your closer circle. Might even be a stranger. I'm not sure. The only card that I really want to clarify here, because the rest of them are pretty clear in what they're saying, I want to clarify the Tower card because I want to see if this is a good shift or communication that might be hard to take, So I want to at least give you that heads up if I can, with clarifying the Tower card. So we'll see what comes out for the Tower card as far as communication goes. All right, so with the Tower card, we have, Queen of Wands is at the bottom of this clarifying deck. The deck that I'm just using to clarify right now. So let's see. we have the Ace of Cups and the Judgment card. So this definitely gives me an idea that the Tower here, the shift here, is that you have increased discernment in relationships, connections, your own level of self-love, your own level of self-regard. Take that as you wish. But your discernment is increasing. And it's because of whatever this communication is. This communication that comes in for the second half of October, 15th through the end of the month, 31st. This communication that comes in is something that shifts or increases your level of discernment. That's pretty much it. So that still doesn't give me an idea of whether this is a bad tower moment or a good tower moment. You'll have to see for yourself. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius placements, my fire signs. You'll have to see for yourself whether this shift is something that arises from a bad thing or a good thing. But at the end of the day, better discernment is better all around. I mean, wisdom doesn't always come easy, but wisdom doesn't always come easy. But it does help in the long run. I mean, towards the end of this clarifying deck, you've got the Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. It's followed by the Ace of Wands and the Two of Cups. So this might also be a relationship, someone that you know. This might be a relationship, something said to you from someone that you've known. It's not really giving... You may have to leave what you know. You may have to depart from someone you know after some kind of communication. Yeah, you may have to actually leave something behind here. All in all, your discernment is increasing as a result of this communication. But it is communication that's like not, it doesn't feel like what you've heard or seen or been through in the past. It's definitely something that's a whole different experience. And that's what the Tower card is kind of signifying here, is that things aren't the same. Like, shit's really not going to be the same the second half of October. So, yeah, don't be married to the familiar. Just be open to new things. Let's move on to your blessings for this time. We're going to be using the blessings deck. Now, this is 28 cards that come from a traditional Rider-Waite deck. These are cards that were left behind when my first deck that I ever got for myself was damaged. Severe water damage. Cards were stuck together. Shit was kind of a mess. So I picked the last of the good cards that I like out of the tarot deck. 28 cards. We'll be using that for your blessings deck. Let's go ahead and pull 5 cards from this deck. So we might be able to unify a message here as far as your blessings, or we might be able to take a few blessings that come through as part of this 28 card deck. We might also have to pull from this deck in a different way. Let's see, for my fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Let's see. All right, so we've got 5 cards exactly here, which is nice. I don't have to do anything else. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Justice card. So something that is long overdue. It kind of seems like something that's long overdue is coming through here again. So the high priestess is here. It's a major arcana card. It has to do with discernment. It has to do with intuition. Your discernment is increasing the second half of this month, and while that may not feel like a blessing as it's happening, that's a good thing. To have increased discernment is a good thing. So whatever it is, that's a blessing. The more you know, right? We've got the Two of Cups. That might be increased harmony with yourself, your internal rhythm, or increased harmony with somebody else, a significant other, a specific person, whatever you're trying to manifest. Let's see. The Six of Cups. Sometimes the Six of Cups can signify a blessing from the universe, just something that you've been needing for a while, and the universe just provides it. We see the subject here providing this other subject with a flower. So that may have been a blessing that was expected or unexpected, but we can see that there's a sense of something being given, something being provided, something that you didn't have before, that you needed, that is being provided. It's going to be something good, so there's no need to worry there. Obviously, we covered the High Priestess is showing up. So in the topic of blessings, that's just you having increased trust in your intuition, knowing that you have the power of discernment, knowing that you know what you know. Now, the phrase that comes to mind is, I ain't Hove, I just know what I know. So it's like the High Priestess here, they're not concerned with knowing everything, but you know what you know, and you're comfortable with that. That's a blessing. You can't see that as a curse. You can't see that as something that's negative. Queen of Swords here, the level of clarity that you're going to have now to make decisions. The Queen of Swords is not distracted. She's focused. This doesn't have to signify a woman. It could signify anybody. But the Queen of Swords is not someone that fucks around. Like, she knows what she wants, and she knows what it's gonna take to get what the fuck she wants. That's a blessing too. And she also knows what she doesn't want. That's important as well. We see on the card that her head isn't clouded. Her head is above the clouds. So there's a level of knowing, groundedness here. She just be knowing. I'd like to call attention to this detail here, this bird. Usually birds kind of signify, someone's watching over us. We're getting divine help. We're getting divine assistance. We have the Knight of Swords here. Okay, so from that discernment, from that level of wisdom that's provided, come hell and high water, you are ready to move. Now, the Knight of Swords is kind of I feel like behind the Knight of Wands, it's kind of the more exciting Knight card because you're committed to forward action. The Knight cards are usually cards of commitment. So whether it's Knight of Pentacles, commitment to material gain, whether it's Knight of Wands, commitment to your passions, whether it's Knight of Swords, commitment to your ideas, new ideas, or old beliefs that you have just held on to, old values, Knight of Swords, or the Knight of Cups, an emotional commitment to something. The Knight cards always give a signifier of commitment. So that's a blessing as well, to be committed in the motion, to be committed in the direction that your ideas are pushing you. That's what brings ideas to life. That's what brings manifestation to life. When you can commit to a new belief, when you can commit to a thought, when you can commit to even an old belief that has always served you, that is a blessing. Because a lot of people, you can't really take that shit for granted, because It's a lot of shit that people are just wishy-washy about. They don't really know. Like, well, you're committed. You're committed. You're moving with conviction, and that's a blessing. Some general advice. I'm gonna pull from a traditional Rider-Waite deck for your general advice. 5 cards for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius placements. Second half of October. You got the Page of Pentacles. General advice. It's too many cards. I need 4 more cards. General advice for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius placements. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Mars. So we've got the Ace of Swords. We've got the 9 of Swords. Again, we have the Justice card wanting to show up in this reading. But now in a more emphatic position where it's actually coming out as part of these 5 cards that I'm supposed to be drawing for each category. And let's see, one last card for your general advice. We've got the Page of Wands. All right, so we've got 2 page cards. Now, at the bottom of the deck is the 4 of Swords. Clearly, that's a card of self-care. That's a card of kind of this like beeper going off of like, hey, take care of yourself. Like whatever is missing as part of your self-care routine, whether that's cutting off people that you know deep down, your discernment is increasing. So you may know deep down that some people aren't supposed to be around you. Take heed of that. That's part of your general advice. You've got 2 page cards. You've got Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. You may be dealing with an earth sign or another fire sign. Page cards kind of give a sense of like newness. The negative connotation is a sense of immaturity. You may be dealing with immature people, immature energies. The Knight of Swords, 9 of Swords here, kind of gives a sense of like you're worried about something. You may be worried about people that you don't actually have to be worried about, because if you took a second look, what bearing do they have on what it is you actually want and what it is you actually deserve? What bearing do these people have? You feel me? Like the advice, if this isn't in the section of advice, you know, it's kind of saying like, recognize where these tormenting thoughts are kind of just being conjured up by either anxiety, which is something you do have to tune into. Like we can't write off anxiety, right? Like I deal with anxiety. It's something that's at first glance anxiety is usually there as kind of a protective measure, like your brain is trying to protect you from something, but you have to really let yourself lean into that increased discernment that you're going to be getting in the second half of this month. Let yourself lean into that so that you can avoid this trap of this mental trap, this mental nightmare, this potential for destruction mentally. Are these people worth stressing over? Can you see the forest for the trees and just kind of move past this petty kind of energy? I don't know why, but page cards usually give me, at least for me, I don't know how anybody else reads them, but most of the time when I see a page card, I'm thinking of like, okay, this is somebody petty. This is someone that is like stuck to an old story of themselves and an old story that they have of you, that they already decided about you. It doesn't matter how much growth, it doesn't matter how much newness is in your life or mind. These people are always going to see you as, you know, the old you. And the old you is always kind of steeped in this, because this is like, you continue to wake up in a nightmare, right? Like, that's the Nine of Swords. It's like you can't get out of this like lockdown, this mental lockdown. So let yourself lean into that new wisdom that's going to be coming in for you, and really understand that your intention for yourself, your new mental gains that you've been working on, the mental gym that you've been going to and working out and flexing your new mental capacity, that's stronger than these old petty energies of people, earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or other fire signs, that Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, that kind of hold you in this old place that you don't want to be in anymore. But don't worry, like, anyone who's stuck in something old, they're gonna, at some point, it's not gonna be working for them anymore. That's why the Justice card is here. So you don't really concern yourself with the new thing that you're trying to build for yourself. Concern yourself with something new. Concern yourself with new ideas, fresh outlooks that you're developing for yourself. New ways of seeing yourself. You don't want to be here. The advice is that, like, this may actually threaten you. So you don't want to be here. Keep in mind the new things, the new beliefs that you've been trying to build for yourself, and stay committed to that. That's for your advice. We're going to really quick pull one oracle card for my Aries, Leo, Sagittarius signs. Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, or Mars. So those placements, if you have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius in those placements, let's pull one oracle card for y'all. And that'll be the last thing. If you've lasted this long through this video, I know this shit has been a little long-winded. I'm doing this shit in one take. It's whatever messages are coming through. But thank you. I want to thank you for joining me in this reading. It's a pleasure reading for my fire signs right now. Be sure to like or subscribe to help the channel. I know it's been a while since my last reading. I want to be a little more consistent with this. I have yet to get to my earth signs and my air signs. My first reading was for water signs, but I want to thank you guys for joining me in this reading. Let's get an oracle card pulled for y'all. All right. So we've got space for my fire signs. That's the oracle card coming through. Let's give this a read. Hold on. space. All right, it reads, you may feel alone and like you can get lost here, but it's important to remember that you can fill this space. What is it that you are looking to fill your life with? Is it certain types of people? A new project? How can you take action towards your goal? The void is only a temporary space, and it's ready to be filled. So all the time leading up to this second half of October, you've been creating space, whether that's cutting people off, whether that's doing new things, whether that's finding new routines for yourself. You've been creating space. Now, what is that space going to be filled with? Is it going to be filled with the same old that hasn't been working? Or are you going to be brave enough? Are you going to be committed enough to fill that space that has been created for a new sense of yourself, a new vision of yourself, and a new action plan for yourself? How do you want to do things differently? That's all I've got for my fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, for the second half of October and beyond, whenever this resonates for you. Thank you for joining me. This has been Black Cat Tarot. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next.